we're gonna use mostly in the next couple of videos. So if you go to team content, click on team content, go to samples. IBM has provided a bunch of really good samples here for dashboards, explorations, data, etc., etc. Click on data. Here are the data sets or data modules that we are going to use mostly. And more specifically, I am interested in this data module. It's called Great Outdoors Data Module. So let's go ahead and see what this data is. Again, as I mentioned to you, in order to be able to analyze data, you need to understand data content and data structure. Those are very, very important, because if you don't know that, how can you ask questions and how can you answer the queries? So now let's go ahead, click on the toggle here and check the properties of this. This is the description of the data set. So this is Great Outdoors Data Module, is a representation of the fictional sample Go Sales package. The data module includes information about sales branches, product forecasts, customers, orders, returned items, employees, and sales data. And they are joined together. Okay, so this is about a company that sells outdoor equipment, and they have branches and they have salespeople, etc., etc. So it's kind of a very good sample of a real database. So it is a very good example of a real database of a real company. Next, let's click on this toggle again. So here are the options that we have: edit data module, create report, create exploration. So you can directly start creating reports and explorations and dashboards here. Or you can create a data module based on this data module, or you can create a data set. Now, data set is a little different, is a subset of a data module, and it caches the data in, and it's good for like bigger applications. For example, you have tons of data and you want to have a subset of that, which is, more readily available, but we're not going to work on that in this course. So let's go ahead and click on the data module, which would be the edit data module. So if you click on that, again, we have all these tables here. So these are all the tables involved in this database. So we have a table about branches, retailers, order methods, products, returns, if there was any return, sale reps, and then sales. Okay. So basically this is, now we're trying to understand this database. Okay. So let's go ahead and, for example, click on branches. If you click on this arrow here, it will collapse the database and you can see all the columns in that table. For example, branch includes branch code, as you can see here, country code, address, city, province, postal code, country, and staff count. So these are the information about the branch. So for example, if you want to know, if you want to have a report of all of your branches and the country they belong to, you can use this table. Okay, now that's why you should understand what's going on in your data. Second, retailers, retailer code, retailer name, retailer type. For example, I want to see what is retailer name. So click on that item in the table or the column, and you can see these are the retailers' names, okay, and the type of them. For example, Actiform is an equipment rental store. It's a retailer in France. This is their address. Then let's put this table back, and then you have sales. For example, this is probably our most important table. Okay, I want to see what's going on in my sales table. So for each sales table, you have the country code, you have order number, retailer, and then sales staff code, who sold it, date, months, quantity, cost of each unit, price of each unit, unit sales price. So there might be a difference between unit price and unit sale price. Why? Because there might be a discount. Okay, if there is a discount, then your price, sales price, would be different than unit price. And then you have a planned revenue, and then gross profit, and all those really good data that you need to create reports. Now you're getting some ideas of how we can use these tables to generate insights and reports. Now, this is about the content of our data, okay? What's even more important is to understand the relationships, okay? How are these tables related to each other? To do that, to understand that, just click on this relationships icon. Now, I can zoom out a little bit. If you scroll up or down, it will make your relationship diagram a little smaller. Let's do that. Let's put them back together a little closer. Now here, let me make it bigger. This is what I mean by a relational database or relational data model, okay? So each branch is related to sales. So each sales happens in one, so this is a one-to-many relationship. It's the cardinality of this relationship is one-to-many. What does that mean? Some of you might already know that, some of you might not. For those of you who don't know this, so you can say each sale happens in one branch, but each branch can have many sales, right? So this is a one-to-many relationship. Retailers, one sale happens in only one retailer, but a retailer can have multiple sales. Same thing with sales reps, products. Each sale can be about one product, but each product can be sold many times, different order methods, and return. So this is a relational database. And if you double click on the links, you can see how these two are related. Okay, for example, what makes these two tables connected? Sales table and branches table. You have to find out a way that connects these two. For example, here, sales and branches, they have the country code in common. So the common field that connects these two tables is these two, okay, country code, which is a common identifier here. We call it identifier. Now let's go ahead and close this. When you think about it, you realize that some of the tables are not connected. For example, if I want to know how many sales reps each branch has and what sales reps belong to what branch, there is no relationship between these two. So let me move retailers to this part. So what I realized here after studying these two tables, and probably there might be some other relationships that are not shown here and they are missing, but the relationship between branch and sales rep. So press control on branch and press control on sales representatives. So the relationship between these two are missing. So right click on that and then click on new relationship. Now I'm gonna define a relationship between these two. So each branch can have many sales representatives, and what connects the two is the branch code. So each sales rep has a unique branch code and each branch has a unique branch code, okay? So what I'm gonna tell to IBM Cognos is that I'm gonna click on that branch code here and then click on branch code here. So it will understand that the two match. So click on match selected columns. So it will match the two of them. And then you can go ahead and press OK. Once you do that, you realize that we made this relationship. So we are telling our system that these two tables should be connected. Now, this connection is made. I can ask questions, for example, what branches have more sales reps and what sales rep belong to what branch. So these kind of questions can be answered now. Here are the custom tables. I'm not going to go over this, but you can obviously create some custom tables based on these tables, okay? But I'm not going to do that. There is no need for that. At this point, what I wanted you to understand is the structure of this data, okay? So there is the sales table, which is our most important table, okay? All the sales information are here. Who sold, how many, what branch, what retailer, if there is any return, etc., etc. And the rest of the tangential information are here, right? So for example, what is the order methods? Sorry, returns. What are the order methods? What products we have in our database? These are all here. Now, this was the structure of my data. And then when you click on grid, you can see, again, similar to previous video, you can check the properties of each table. For example, if you click on quantity here, like if you go on properties, these are the properties of the quantity. It's a measure, the aggregate is total, it's the number of products that are sold, and this is the date of that sales transaction. So I hope you understand what's going on. Let's go ahead and save our new data module, because I made a change in the structure of the data module. So I'm gonna save it as grade outdoors data module updated, and I'm gonna save it in my content under my first data module. Okay, so let's go ahead and save it. Well, congratulations. We are now ready to explore our data, create dashboards, and create insights